Live from Rochester, New York.
It's the 2019 Federation Novices.
I'm Tracy Watson from Carondelet, Albany Province.
I'm Christina Denis from Carondelet, St. Louis Province.
I'm Leila Sullivan from Springfield, Mass.
I'm Tristan from Orange, California.
And I'm Rachel Carey from Rochester, New York. Hey sisters, what are you reading these days?
I am reading In Our Own Word.
I'm reading Interior Castle by Teresa of Avalon.
I'm reading part 2 of Wrestling with God by Barbara Fiond.
And I'm reading Joyce Rupp's Open the Door, A Journey to Your Most Authentic Self. Rachel, what are you reading?
I'm reading With Open Hands by Henry Nouwen.
All good books, sisters. So, my dear Rachel, what is it that drew you to religious life?
I've been blessed in my life to know Sisters of St. Joseph from many congregations across our federation. And what has continued to impress me about all of them is their deep joy in each of the sisters that I've encountered in service of the dear neighbor, and how central prayer can be in their lives. As a college student, I remember there was a Sister of St. Joseph on the faculty where I was an undergrad, and she told me that she had entered religious life at least partially because she thought that she needed more time in her life to pray. And I remember being really struck by that and thinking, I want a life like that too. Hey Tracy, what challenges you as you make this transition? What are you excited for this year?
Thank you, Rachel, for the question. Something that challenges me the most about this novitiate year is being apart from family and friends and sisters in community and all of the other circles of relationships, because I cherish each of them so much. Something else that will challenge me is being away from school this coming September. It is so cool to be able to be in this model community, to have the intentional community. That's a real grace and an opportunity, and I'm really excited to learn to live in a community that's built on mutual love and respect. And I do feel God calling us for the life of the world to learn these things, to be these things. Leila, why is it that you desire to be a sister at your age?
Well, I've always been drawn to the church, and I was raised Baptist, but I always felt this call. It just took me a very long time to buck family tradition and convert to Catholicism. And at first I thought I waited too long. I was 46 when I converted, but speaking with my friends at work, they said, no, go for it. Try talking to them about my dream of being a sister, and they said, regardless of your age, look into it. So I did. And now here I am, total surprise to my family. And I'm telling you, just the way the world is now, the world needs us, regardless of age. I truly believe that. What are you most excited about living in Rochester?
I am excited because I have always, most of my life, lived in California, so West Coast, so there's no season. So I'm very excited to experience the fall season in Rochester, the East Coast. Secondly, I am excited because the Federation Novitiate is in Rochester, and I will live with the 4 other novices in Rochester. So I'm excited with the program. The Federation of Novice Director seems nice. So, and a lot of work that put into it and very detailed. So I am excited. Christina, what part of the CSJ charism and spirituality capture your soul the most?
Great question, Trish. Yes, so I actually have been really influenced by Ignatian spirituality since the early 2000s. I would say that Ignatian spirituality has been really important in my own life journey. So knowing that the CSJs were founded by a Jesuit, I was of course very interested in the CSJs because of our spirituality tied to Ignatius. That said, I do have to admit that ever since I started as a candidate with the CSJs and learned more fully how the CSJs are tied not just to Ignatian spirituality, but that Father Madai was a French Jesuit and lived in a time that he would have been very influenced by Salesian spirituality. I admit that I'm now, at this point, I'm really fascinated by the intersection of Salesian and Ignatian spirituality and how the CSJ charism and our spirituality is really tied by both of those schools of spirituality. And in terms of the charism, of course, there's much to love about the charism in general, but I am quite enamored with just the saying of loving the dear neighbor without distinction. I think that goes really far in terms of who we are and what we're all about. So now that we've answered this very serious question, I'm gonna ask us all a lighter question. So what's a TV show that you binge watched recently?
Does watching NCIS once a week count?
No.
NCIS.
Food Network.
The Good Place.
Okay, and I love Netflix, so Umbrella Academy. All right, and with that, that's a little introduction to the novices of the 2019-2020 year for the Sisters of St. Joseph, the Federation Novitiate. Before we leave, we actually want, in all seriousness, to actually just thank you, those of you who are watching. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you for all of the kind words, the thoughts that you've given us. Thank you for the financial support that is allowing this Federation Novitiate to take place. And we accept chocolate.
And pretzels.
Thank you so much for everything that you are and all the ways that you love God and the dear neighbor without distinction. We'll catch you through the year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.